Hey there, Andrew from C1D Paintball. You might have noticed a different type of opening for this video. Well, it's a different type of game. And just like the crawl mentioned in the video, exactly what it is. For the last 3 years, about once or twice a year, as Warzone, the upper level on the mountain part, has 3 fields. As they expand, as they get worked on, improved, as new fields are added, we've been trying to set up a scenario and practice having a big game. We call it a mini big game, but I'm going to call it a big game. Now, with each iteration, each time we do this, I feel it gets a little better. We figure out little things. Obviously, as the field gets worked on, we have more options. And in this game you're about to see, well, there's a new element. We're playing in Twilight, so the sun is going down. It is an 8v8. Definitely not a big game or even a mini big game in that sense, but the experience as the field expands. Normally at Warzone, it's like a lot of paintball fields. The standalone individual fields are great when there's if there's 8v8. You know where everything is. You can see everyone. Even if there's only 2 per side, the field is that small. But we're incorporating a lot of fields. We're incorporating the fact that the sun is going down. There's an area on top where there's a little bit more light because there's not many trees, and there's a dark forested area. I mentioned that every time we try this little big game I'm going to call it, we do have a fun time. But after this one, well, frankly, it was exceptional. You'll notice in particular when Connor gets off the field, the comments he makes at the end of the game about being kind of terrifying, thrilling, a lot of fun, which I found as well. There can be a lot of discussion. There will be a lot of discussion on how we set up, how many people we should have as extra fields that are currently being built, incorporate into it. But I want you to enjoy this one for what it is. And let's start with the layout. This is the layout of the upstairs section, calling it the mountain section of Warzone Paintball. And this field here is a terminal. It is not finished yet. It's a work in progress from last year. Should be finished, hopefully in 2025. We also are not using tire ball for this version of the big game. But something we are using is this area here. It's not an official map or field. It is the woods. We've used it in all the big game scenarios. It has evolved as well itself. It's not an official field at Warzone, but it has been worked on, graded, a lot safer because it was literally forced a lot of rocks, and very much comes into play. Now, I'll explain to you the setup for this game. And you might notice when you're loading this up that, hey, it's a long video. And it's not because I stop and start talking and interrupt the game as it goes. I'm not doing that. But there are a lot of call outs and locations I will be mentioning that I'm going to explain right now what they are. So this way, when I bring it up in the video, because I will be narrating over it, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's take a look at what is in play in this particular game. We will outline it in purple. It is a different setup, as I mentioned, than any other time we've tried this. Now, there is a choke point. This area here, kind of between village and market, top of the woods. There's been a lot of barriers added to it, and it still is an area where everybody rushes, so a slight choke point like that. But it was open before, so now it has a lot of barriers that cover it well. So, and this has always been a focal point of these big games, and it will be again today. Now let me talk about the callouts. Now we mentioned the woods. There's an area, we're going to call it Deep Woods, this area here, a little bit lower on the field. There's an actual incline going up towards Market. This is down a bit, it's a little bit more rugged, and you'll see lots of action there, in particular from my mask. Now, for the 2 teams that spawn, the team that spawns, my team that spawns, and Village, there is a corner here called Wedge. Effectively, that is the corner exterior of the actual field when you're just playing on Village. There's buildings there, but it forms this kind of wall. This wedge kind of looking at uphill, up a little road towards market and that choke point. Now, in the market itself, there's two areas that are very much in play as far as this game. You have the salient. The salient is the area that some new things have been put in there, some new barricades and such, which makes that choke point a lot more playable. You can get up there, you can defend behind and ahead of it, so you have the salient. And you have here the White House. The White House is gone. There used to be a White House there for a spawn, but we still call it the White House. That is going to be very much a focal point. It's always been in play in these big game scenarios, but the little area here, the forest, so the area between the greens, the White House I've circled here in green, and the edge of the purple boundary here, little forest area, that's new. That is put specifically to make the choke point a little bit more bearable and give options to those on the field playing. Now the last area is the corner here. That is on the boundary of tire ball and just looking into the woods. In particular, Colton will be playing there for a bit of the game. I mentioned the White House before, by the way. You're going to see Connor doing a lot of work there. Now back to the corner here, I want to mention something about it is you can actually see across tire ball into the woods, and you can fire over there, but you can't walk through it. A little bit of a quirk there, and that is the major points you'll see on this game. Once again, played at night, really had an outstanding feeling to play. We each had 2 lives, by the way. I already mentioned myself with a camera, Colton with a camera, Connor with a camera. It is an entertaining one to have played in, and of course when you edit something like I edited this video that you feature in, you always like it a little more. But I feel that the air I've put into this, the way the game played, that sun going down, that twilight, really made it entertaining whether you're in the game or whether you've never even been near the field before. There is limited music in this one. I wanted to set a mood. I wanted you to hear the sounds. Obviously, when it gets darker, sounds are even more important when you're playing paintball. So, without further ado, I bring to you Twilight on Warzone Heights.
We might go on everything. We don't need that many people to go on the road. Boxes there at the pop-up market, they make it so you can't just hold the team on their team, so you have to run out more. Howdy, partner. Is it what, young people against old people?
Pretty much.
Both teams discuss additional deployment. There's no surprise that each team wants a presence at the bottleneck, but they're also both aware that the woods is a flank waiting to happen and potentially a wild card.
Magic? No road there? Yeah. You can't go into airfield. You're allowed to go in the woods, but the furthest... Like last one. Like last one. Okay. What's your club?
As I carefully go through the forest, Colton and Connor already arrive at the White House and salient with other teammates respectfully, both firing into the dark woods towards village to keep my orange team away from an easy approach. With so many teammates here in control, Colton heads towards the corner and unknowingly on a collision course with me. Colton's teammate, the formidable Nick, is at the back of the safe zone firing towards the bottleneck. This allows Colton to more safely venture south towards the corner. I work my way through the woods carefully. In the daytime, you have to watch your footing here, so that's even more important now. Colton is carefully getting into position. Once you find an enemy in this type situation, you don't fire right away from a distance. If you do find someone, you have to make sure you have them lined up for a sure hit, not wasting a shot and sending your target back into the darkness. Now as Colton positions, I'll actually fire towards the salient. My shots I recently fired actually sent enemies back to cover at the salient, the same spot ironically Colton ran to start the game. So while these shots helped push back the enemy slightly, I'm now on the radar to those players up there, not to mention Colton. Colton fires at me, but it's a long distance and he can't quite pinpoint my position well. He sees a glimpse of movement that has to be an enemy, but no clear shot. I'll spawn an enemy near the market safe zone, not too far from Colton, but it's too far a shot, so I'll simply wait. Colton will soon fire another volley, and you may, for just a split second, see me move in the distance as he fires.
A little closer.
I joke to Colton he should be closer to hit me. I get a chuckle out of him. He's a good player who likes to have fun, but down to brass tacks, when you're in his sights, means you're in trouble. I fire shots towards Colton. I don't have his exact location. Colton knows better where I am, compared to where I know he is. Colton is joined by the teammate I spotted earlier near him, and that other player will hit me, taking my first life away.
Hit! Hit! Coming out!
Colton backtracks towards the market, while I continue back to my spawn.
You're allowed to go over this line and go straight. So, I mean, it all depends. If you go a little left onto like the rocks, and if you stay low, they might not see you.
Connor's location at the White House has a lot more light compared to the forest. You'll notice him look towards the salient, where there are no teammates any longer, partly because of the fire I threw up there not long ago. Because of this, he'll reposition a bit as well.
Like, if you go over here, they might not see you.
With the new barriers and expanded boundaries for this scenario, Connor is checking out what he has to work with in this location.
There shouldn't be anybody in the woods there.
Connor points out to Jay a lane going right through into the village where the enemy spawn is and likely the bulk of the enemy players are. This is a focal point for much of the game for him.
Well, they shouldn't be up there. That's out of bounds.
Both these players don't have a lot of cover, but they're hunkered low to the ground and, more importantly, working and communicating together.
I see them! I see them! They're right in front of us on the brown boxes right in front of you. Okay, you see how there's two giant stacks of brown boxes? He's on the one on the right, on the left side of it. You see him? Okay.
Colton is in the transition area from market to tire ball after a small retreat. He will lay low and try to assess what's going on at a safe distance.
Miranda, we have one revive if you didn't use it.
With the teammate Miranda hit, Connor reminds her that everyone has one revive each.
He's still on that side. Yeah. Motherfucker.
Colton hugs the market safe zone. He gets an angle on the back of the salient into the guts of the bottleneck. It's a bit far, and for now, has no visible enemies.
Yo, do you see the barrel right over there? That's like on its side? Right in front of me pretty much. Like right there. Maybe you can go behind it. You stay low, lie down. Yeah. They shouldn't be able to get you from the left. It's if you want.
Connor works with Jay at the White House to find a better position for them to defend the gap ahead of them. They will stay low and be ready to stop enemy pushes in this area for now.
Yeah.
After respawning, I'm heading back onto the field, and at the wedge, I look around before I head back into the woods. Colton gets to the safe zone near Tire Ball and is looking into the woods. He can't see me on the other side this far away, but we are on that collision course I mentioned earlier. Colton is basically in a spot he was in before where he got me the first time. In comparison, you'll see how much darker the same area is now, only a few minutes later. I cross the road separating village from the woods, but keep my eye on the salient so I don't get hit, or in case I spot any enemies up there I can take out. I'm having trouble seeing things now with the darkness coming, and I'll have to watch my footing carefully in the uneven woods.
Yeah.
Connor will spot an enemy and informs Jay of the location of that enemy, as they both wait patiently.
It's the guy behind that box on the right.
The rope above Connor's position is the normal out-of-bounds marker for market, and in previous big games it was also considered out of bounds. But as explained at the start of the video, the small forest where the rope passes through is now in play, in effort to help resolve the bottleneck issue. Connor is learning these angles as the first player out there to test this new area.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up to this tree in front of me. That's attached to the line.
Connor moves up a little bit. He smartly is patient to make sure he gets a good shot at the enemy.
I see his side. I'm gonna wait for a better shot.
Patience in this type of game is key, and his patience will pay off.
I got him. If you want to move up, now's your time to somewhere else. If you want, like to the boxes right beside you, I don't know. Because the spot you're in right now is really bad.
With it getting even darker, you'll notice as I go deeper to the woods the pixelization of my camera. I carefully make my way into the deep woods area. To my right where market is, I still have some good contrasting light to see any enemies on the top of that east ridge.
Outhouse.
I'll lightly whistle to a teammate on my right that I spot an enemy near the outhouse in the salient. I fire shots near that aforementioned outhouse position. I managed to push the enemy back up there, but all that noise has drawn the attention of Colton. Colton can't find me, but he knows the area where the shots came from, so he's peering through a screen window to help cover himself while he tries to find me or any of my teammates in the darkness. I just missed that enemy at the salient and send him back running towards the spawn, away from the front line. It allows Colton to try to pinpoint me, and we'll have our second firefight of the day with each other.
Two on the left! Watch the flank! Watch the flank!
I barely make out Colton in the distance, but I spot a teammate of his a little further to the left. Colton continues to fire at me, but I'm far away and he only sees intermittent glimpses of me going between trees. I drop prone. I do have an advantage under the cover of darkness. Being outgunned 2-1, I'll lie in ambush fashion where I am. I'll even take out a couple of magazines and stack them to my left so I can swap them out if or when a firefight starts. Colton has lost sight of me as I had hoped. He knows I'm probably still out there, but with my current prone defensive setup, well, the trap is set. I patiently wait in my spot, and I see two blurred images barely visible along the top of the hill where the last remaining bits of sunlight allow me to see them. These two will start to move up slowly. I'll have to wait till at least one of them is close enough that I can be sure to land the shot, and then work on the other one. I just have to be patient. If you focus on the spot on the screen on top where the sun is shining through the brightest, you'll quickly see both enemies progress towards me. Colton's teammate with him has advanced towards me, close enough to me to hit him rather easily. As I carefully line up the shot to shoot, my heart is pounding, as this is a style I never play, and frankly, I'm thrilled to be trying out.
Okay, I'm out!
I see him. I see him. I'll try to get him.
My game crashes to the ground as I run out of air. It's game over for me, but as you heard from Connor, he has more enemy activity in the bottleneck.
I'm taking shots. They know exactly where I am.
Connor's position is compromised, but they seem to be longballing him. He's just staying low behind this tree. It's not optimal for him, but it could be worse. And remember, he hasn't even been knocked out once yet.
He's in the woods shooting at me.
We aren't running around like we normally do. The patience game tests your mental strength, plus it pumps up the adrenaline, the fear, anxiety, and excitement, while you have no choice to lay still low, be quiet for your best chance of coming out on top.
Yeah, well, it's somebody over there. He's so far away. But where the fuck is Colton in the woods?
Connor fires into the enemy position, not knowing if he's hit anything. He might have gotten 2 players, in fact. He might have totally missed. Under these conditions, we simply don't know. But the fog of war makes it exciting.
They're far up in the woods. That's my dad's voice.
Connor hearing the ref call an enemy out and vaguely hearing me in the distance allows him to figure out that the enemy is at least 1 man down. But that doesn't mean he'll just run headlong into the forest. One can make an educated guess on what's happening, but it's not enough to go all in. At least, not yet.
Yeah, I see him. He's on the left side of it.
More good communication between teammates. Forget about the player or players just knocked out. It's time to find the next one to knock out.
I'm way too far to get him.
Connor acknowledges he's probably too far to hit the enemy he was shooting at, but firing shots in the forest is probably keeping the enemy from advancing up. Colton is still in the same position as he was before, but he's actually about to run out of balls and will head to the safe zone to reload and go back to the position. Connor will work with Jay to try to reposition him to a better spot. He'll actually use Colton, who's going to get ammo, as a waypoint to guide his teammate.
Yo, Jay. You see those boxes right to your right? By the blue building? I want you to go back to our spawn and go all the way around, like do a loop to get there, okay? Yeah, but like go to the brown boxes that are kind of beside you, but do a giant circle around to get there. Okay, I'll tell you where Colton is. I want you to go there, okay? So keep on looking where he is. Now, I want you there, but what you're gonna do, those boxes he just walked past, what you're gonna do, Jay, walk all the way around to get there, okay? Well, walk back here. Like turn around, walk that way you're looking right now. Go that way. So it's safe. Like do a giant loop to be safe. Go now, you're totally safe. Just run at first and you can walk.
Before Jay can make a move, a small firefight breaks out, pinning him and Connor down.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting shot at by 2 people now.
Now for Connor at the White House staring into the dark forest and village area. You certainly can't see what's going on with players going on and off the field. You have to be careful and try to see, and more importantly remember, use the sounds to try to help spell out what to do next. For now, there'll be some anxious waiting.
Well, I'm telling you to go.
An enemy is at the blocks not too far from Connor, and he just misses taking him out. Connor and Jay will be joined by a third teammate who advances up ahead, really helping secure the position for them.
Yo, Jay. If you want, you can go behind this barrels because you're totally safe on the right side. You just gotta lie down. Okay? Bro, you're totally safe on the right side. Look, our team's there. Yeah, I'll cover you. But, like, we have a teammate in the way, so there you shoot. Alright, we gotta move up, because our team might be in the forest. Like, where's that shooting coming from? Okay, see that green generator? That's kind of where we want to go next. It's really risky, though. You want to see like if it's clear though. Colton's coming back with ammo, so let's wait for him.
Connor has identified a waypoint generator structure he wants to move up to, but he wants to wait before advancing up.
Yeah. Colton's going into the woods. Colton's going there right now. Michael said he thinks they're flanking in the forest. I mean, we gotta hold this side so they don't run in.
Michael appears ahead of Connor along the woods tree line. There seems to be a lot of movement below.
I mean, we both have our first life, though.
Connor has actually taken an enemy out with his last volley and surprises himself.
Fuck, no way. Bro, I only saw his arm man and shot like 10 feet above it for the arc. Okay, bro. Go under the rope to your left, okay? And take that shortcut, and I'll just spray for you, okay? Yeah. Cut that way. Alright, let me know when you're ready to run. I'll start shooting like crazy. Yeah. Michael, we have Jay there.
After covering for an advancing teammate, Connor decides now it's his turn to advance.
Hey, Michael, I'm gonna go loop around and take a look, okay? I'll let you know. I'm gonna go take a look, okay? Yeah, I don't know if they're on our team or their team.
Connor meets up with another teammate. They see figures to the right, but they're not sure if they're friendlies.
Yeah, I want to go to the woods. I think that's Colton shooting. Yo, Colton, I'm with you. What's up? How many more?
Connor looks to get to the forest by traveling along the tire-ball boundary through silos, and Colton, who he has just met up with, will try to give him cover. As Connor mentioned to Colton before, Jay and Michael have the bottleneck covered. With Colton and Connor sweeping through the forest, it can end this one. Connor is trying to scan the dark forest. Take note his camera is actually the best one I have for low light, yet it's so dark out there. Connor, now at the corner, has only one way to go, north through the woods. As the rays of the setting sun are directly in front of Connor through the trees, he works with Colton to sweep through the forest.
Colton. Dude, oh my god, bro, I swear to god I heard people walking with me. That was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Holy shit. like, were you slowly cracking branches on your feet? Dude, because I thought I heard somebody creeping up behind me.
As Colton and Connor charge north, Michael and Jay hit the village from the west, and thus the game ends with a gold victory.
Oh my god. Dude, I was like panting for air. I was so scared. Yeah, I got some pics too. I got Jay to run up to that, kind of like more than halfway.